Hey little Sweet Tooth and Flutter Pyrex is here, gonna play more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Justice for all. Phoenix
Is this your
Wright.
first time playing the game, Tom?
Oh, what?
Is this your first time playing your Phoenix game? Like these playthroughs?
Second time, remember? First one?
Beyond that, Tom, I've played this game before.
No, I saw like snippets, I never actually played this.
I love these games.
I love you.
The first time was me just trying to force London to play it.
Oh wait, yeah, you showed me a little bit of the one with, what's his name?
What's his name?
Yeah, the successor to Wright.
Oh yeah, Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo.
I was playing that one.
Defendant Lobby, number 5. Good morning, Max.
Max?
But milk.
What?
If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie.
Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down.
I guess.
Nick? Max is really nervous. Why don't we get him milk?
That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. But what?
You only cared about Nick after you knew he was a lawyer.
You don't think I should fly, do you?
That would make things worse.
Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone.
Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay.
Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side.
Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I thought it would be cool.
I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously.
It's finally someone said something good about Nick. It's going through his head.
About time.
It's about time someone said something nice about Phoenix for once.
Yeah. And now the case of one. What?
Your Honor, get on with it.
Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So, well, isn't it the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. He sounds more friendly. I wonder if that is to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please.
I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Eh?
That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count, you hear me?
She must still be upset about what happened last time.
You have no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it's not in the nature of a Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. I didn't know Phoenix was on trial.
It meant me? Guilty? What are you talking about?
It will be my ultimate revenge. What, beating him once? But it's not like it'll bring her dad back.
Yeah.
There, open statement complete. Now let's hurry up and wrap up this waste of time. That
That's
has nothing to do with the case.
Yeah. Very well, you may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there, now.
Oh god.
I think they always need to have a person from the police department as their first witness. Just to establish the scene. Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question.
Wait a second. Okay.
At your service, sir. Why do they call her sir?
I don't know, that's so weird. Alright, detective, you may proceed with your testimony.
Does my Dick Gumshoe voice sound weird?
I like it.
Yay.
Details of the events.
The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza, in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over in a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Oh, broke his neck.
Huh, I just kind of thought about something.
What?
I'll say later.
So he got hit by something, broke his neck, and he fell over.
Yeah. I see, he was beaten to death.
Here's the autopsy report for the victim.
The court accepts this into evidence. Time of death, 10:15 p.m. Caused blunt force trauma to the back of the head. A blunt object. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. Let me ask you about the snow.
It's nearly blizzard up until the time of the crime.
Did it pile up?
It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. Snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day.
The snow. Let me see, there's gotta be more to it than this.
Yeah? What's the matter, Nick?
I need to take a look at the court record.
About snow?
About snow? Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? The court record on snow?
Well, I think the closest thing to snow we have is the picture of the crime scene. We had a bit of snow in there. Right?
That one?
No, the one where he's bent over. It just shows his footprints. So we can see some snow in it. Oh, looks like he didn't just merely fall over there. Look at that. The case didn't just fall down, it was pushed a little. So he must have fell on it, his knees dug into the ground, so did his hand. Look at that. I think there's a bit of a dig in there. Although I don't think that's enough to actually tell how much snow there was.
Yeah. All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. Not Mom.
No, I think Mo was with them.
Ah.
The crime happened afterwards when everyone left.
Ah. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean?
Everyone but the dancers and staff were there, pal. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant Maximilian Galactica and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regina the tiger was there as well.
Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey?
When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Oh, that was in the pile.
Oh. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. Practice session broke around 10 p.m.
We saw detectives go to his wristwatch while we were investigating. Oh my god.
After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to?
Gino was playing with Regent while Mo went back to his room, tired from work. Then the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. Ringmaster Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately.
Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious.
Any private conversation is suspicious in my book, pal. But we arrested him so quickly.
You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you?
It seems they were negotiating Max's salary.
Actually, Max was asking for Gina's hand in marriage. The murder itself took place in the plaza. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m.
Okay, not a problem, pal. No witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on.
Alright. We'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end?
She just stopped him from testifying about that one. She's like, no, we're leaving.
A wooden box.
That's right, pal. Victor must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed.
Carrying the box, huh?
Why was he carrying that? It's a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. So I have no idea what was in it.
Locked, you say?
I wonder if he had something that the killer wanted.
This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. Yeah. Do you mind telling us what was inside that box?
We found the box was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All was inside was this little bottle.
Bottle? What is that, Detective?
Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What is that?
Huh. What's inside the bottle?
It's filled with pepper.
Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box.
Unless someone else got it open and switched it out. I wonder if it has some sort of special meaning.
Weird.
That's weird.
Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the connective vertebrae in his neck. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct?
You done your homework, pal.
And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you?
The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it's something the perpetrator ran off with.
You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene.
No, I bet he made it disappear with magic.
Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of the gumshoe in this case.
You mean it's all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously. But that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy.
Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness.
I'd like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand.
She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist.
I wonder if Trilla would show up on the stand as well.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And he's already being punched. Please state your name and occupation for the record.
My full name is Trilla Quist. I am employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That rope must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence, decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think?
Oh my god, you just insulted the judge. I was like, what just happened? It had a good rhythm.
Okay. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trilla, you know better than to insult a judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star.
Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What's going on here? Order! Order! I demand to know what who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trilla handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about getting testimony. Ouch!
You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed. I'm not even gonna let the judge figure out what's going on.
Look at a little smug little... Oh my god. What you witnessed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with a clown.
Mean.
Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max, heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away.
You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene. You're sure of that?
Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can he mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture.
Why do I get the feeling it was the victim wearing all of Maximilian's stuff? They were in the same room. Like, I get the feeling that he grabbed Maximilian's coat instead.
Yeah, probably, because it was cold out.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't have a coat. I borrowed it from Max, and I just wanted to wear his hat.
Yeah.
This is literally telling me you can't identify Max without his items on him. But he's like, you can tell exactly who he is. He has brightly colored hair and stars on his face.
Yeah. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown? That's right, Dress Boy. Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime?
What?
He's got a point.
The clown? What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit.
Why is that?
Here's absolute proof.
A silk hat?
This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant.
Ah.
Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. Because you can never take off a hat. If the clown was the murderer, there'd be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. I don't feel like you've shown anything of actual evidence so far. I mean, that testimony wasn't very good.
Yeah.
It
Well
was
done.
from someone with an actual grudge that just, like, I saw him walking that way at one point.
Somebody dressed like him. It must be him.
Yeah. It's like the same problem we had with the Steel Samurai, just less convincing because there isn't even a picture.
Yeah, Steel Samurai at least was convincing for a while.
Yeah, they at least had some form of saying, oh yeah, he had a reason to go over this way, he was headed over that way.
Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done.
Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say?
Okay. Guess she's the boss again today. Okay.
So I wonder how long until Trollo starts trying to insult you.
All of 2 seconds.
So you think, like, in the first 2 presses?
Yeah. The clown? You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. So pathetic, I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place.
So how come this guy's the most hated one there?
I don't know. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It's awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice, warm lodging house have been a better idea?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness.
But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was.
What?
That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup? Snobby 3-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you're all like talking like a brick. You're like talking to a brick wall. Max's 3-piece getup. Jeez. Could you be any more dense? All together now.
Silk hat, cloak, white roses.
Thank you.
Got everyone in the court to say it. Nick, I think you should put a little more effort into preparing your questions.
He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? You saw Max and only Max, right, Trila? That's right. That makes him the killer.
How?
There was only one person heading that way that night.
Were you standing guard?
Yeah. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in there?
true. Right? It's not the fact that he only saw Max, it's that there was no reason to believe it is.
Yeah. Wait a second. There's no proof that the witness saw Maximilian Galactica. Hey, you still don't get it, do ya? I saw what I saw. It was Max's three-piece joke of a costume.
Yes, but how do we know it was Max wearing it?
Yeah. Alright, let's all say it together now.
Drilling it into us harder doesn't make it the truth.
Yeah. Thank you. I think you should study up on your celebrities, Mr. Wright. Okay, I'm getting shut down by a
I
toy.
don't know, maybe saying Ben only saw this one? Oh wait, if he only saw Galactica, then what about the victim? He's claiming that he was a guard. Why didn't he see the victim?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We don't know how long he was standing there. That's my main problem with this.
That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen? That's the victim. That's correct. Atrila was at the entrance to the plaza. He should have seen the ringmaster as well. Ah!
Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have been seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. Even the murderer could have arrived before then.
Yeah. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room.
Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
Ah. I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right.
A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now, let's move along with the testimony. Surely wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for crony Max, would he?
Well, Max is part of that bitter love triangle with Regina. Which is probably why Max conked him over the head.
Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got conked over the head?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore.
Is there a way that we can prove that Max was with him?
I want to see if the bottle, like, helps on this. But I don't think the bottle would happen right now.
I don't think it would either. I don't think that it's something that would contradict with what he's saying.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I'm
Can't
gonna
present
try.
that just to attack his credibility. We have to try and find things that directly contradict what he's saying.
Wait, let's see. Does it bring up the 3?
The questions will be helpful. No?
No.
Questions are done?
Yeah, the questions are no more. Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around... Hey, what time was it? Huh? I think it was around... I'd say a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Well, you shut up, you big-nosed dope. Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we'd just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
Mr. Phoenix, Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories.
But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm on to something. Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold? Regina, right? Gumshoe.
I don't think they'd wait for Gumshoe. They definitely would want to wait for Regina if she was coming.
Yeah. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. Wah! You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it. Well. The puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Eh? Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Ah! That makes perfect sense.
What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading... Ow!
There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer.
I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina. Pain!
Don't volunteer things. You just gave up my reasoning.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage? That the matter of a puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain.
Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet.
A smug ass puppet.
An extremely smug puppet. I mean, seriously, could they make a more smug face for this puppet if they tried?
Yeah. About the proposal. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. No, we have the ring. You were going to propose, you, a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. What?
Everyone's gonna propose to her now.
Exactly.
You just made yourself competition.
His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now.
You made more competition.
Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination.
Do you even know who you're actually trying to propose to now, Judge? What's with that sigh at the end?
Man, this smug little puppet.
Wait a minute. If you have the ring, then it proves that he ran somewhere else. Because there's no way he wouldn't notice the monkey taking the ring from him.
Right. By a proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina? Of course, that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it. That's the truth.
Get it, got it, good.
What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty.
Answer his question. What is it?
You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring.
Engagement.
Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs.
Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. How's this your joke?
How's it Phoenix's
Time
joke?
for this to end right here.
Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything.
Why do I get the feeling that everything that happens in a courtroom with any witness, even if it's hers, is always your fault?
Oh my god. Am I gonna get whipped if I try to push?
Probably.
Let's push on anyway. Just out of curiosity. Maybe something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed. Ow!
I advise you to cut this argument short. Yep, you just got whipped.
I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the victim please revise their testimony?
The victim?
What?
The victim can't have a testimony.
What? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in black bathrobe. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina. Actually, press. An engagement ring? Uh-huh. It's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is going to love it. It's just a thing. Just a ring. It's just a thing. Sorry.
Ain't nothing but a chicken wing.
Ain't no thing but a chicken ring.
What's the matter, Nick?
Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry. Really. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? So, you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me. Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his woodblock in half, and not with magic.
Congratulations, you've once again proven yourself violent.
Yeah. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So what about this present? Trilo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine. Give it back. Thief! Thief! Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Arr!
He exploded!
What is going on here?
I don't know, but the puppet's magic.
Yeah. Ben, say something. Yeah, don't put me on the spot like that, Trila. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room they put money, like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey's gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trilo! When was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was. That time. You know, that night. That night of the crime.
What did you just say?
Details. I need more details.
This means that just after they saw Max, they could have just ran off.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct?
I only saw Max, and then the monkey stole the ring, and I chased him around all night.
Yeah. Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Yeah. Oh. Ben, what's wrong? What's with you? Oh, whatever. Has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what it has to do with what. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Trilo Quist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trilo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey Money. But you... That's a weird sentence. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, luffy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important thing.
Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be?
Ben doesn't exercise enough. I almost feel like doing that. Nah. There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony.
You avoided a penalty with that, at least.
Yeah. The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the Monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, now his thing means nothing. Where are you going with this little theory of yours? You know, that he just admitted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's surprisingly honest. He really wants Max convicted, but he's still willing to tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah. I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
Well, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I've told you so many times. You think you know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy. And I'm sure it will change some more.
Where there's one lie, there are usually many more behind it.
Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah.
Witnessing Max. Still smug. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene.
Why do I feel like this is like a drug deal now?
Yeah. There's no way.
Person steals Max's clothes, has a huge briefcase with only pepper in it, and is going completely silent in this area.
Yeah.
It's like a drug deal.
With pepper?
Yeah, they're trying to trick someone.
There's no way I could have mistaken someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that doesn't mean Mighty didn't show up until after you saw Max?
That's
I
right.
said that.
Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think.
So the victim couldn't have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Bon Karma, you literally just said yourself. That means anyone could have arrived in that 5-minute stretch.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for the prosecution to reach, but not you?
I don't know.
You're normally the person that's supposed to be proving possibilities.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be proving a definite.
I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something could have slipped by me? Yeah. 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes. The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trila.
The judge is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And thinks that wooden eyes are of any help.
So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. You already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Ow!
I'm not good with math. So it was 10:10 p.m.
Ah, yes, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. Because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night? You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trila. You said good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trila. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony.
Ben's half of the comedy act.
Ben's half of the comedy act. Going for that one. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming off as a little bit stale. I'm sure that if a pro was to review your work, Ow!
You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you? Don't get so wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Wright. You should know better.
Ow!
Oh my
Ow!
god, she's
Ow!
repeatedly whipping you because of that one.
Oh my god.
That should have set him straight. You may proceed with your testimony, witness. She got so mad at that.
Alright, let's go back into that.
It didn't hurt you at all, even though she whipped you repeatedly.
Yeah. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? He strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers?
Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, would understand. Ow! That hurt.
Maybe you should think of having proof before you start flapping your lips next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Oh, that's weird. If you right click, it goes previous. Like
That's
really
cool.
quick.
That's nice one to include.
Does left click do it? Yeah, left click goes forward. Huh. Alright. You were 100% absolutely sure of what you just said? I told you already. Geez, I'm 100 absolutely sure.
There's no way he could be any more confident than that, right?
Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch!
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. So you basically just admitted your client assaulted and battered someone. I guess if that gets him off of the crime of murder, I guess.
Yeah. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There is no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his
This
rival.
Lewd?
Lewd.
Lewd? What does lewd have to do with anything here?
I don't know.
Are you saying this witness is lying? Is that he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? Did I say he saw a different person or didn't see anyone?
He saw a different person. That's the only reason he would say hi to them, right?
Yeah. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world, you?
Would the defense kind of explain who it was Trilo saw that evening then? The victim.
But if they knew it was the victim, why'd they say it was Max?
They saw Gumshoe.
That'd be hilarious.
Considering the ill temper of this witness, there is only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. Judge, come on,
Judge
stop
really
it.
wanted to flirt with Regina.
I guess.
Is Regina slowly approaching the Mary Sue area?
Yeah.
Like every single person loves her. Instantly.
I guess so. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah. I suppose you got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim itself, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Is that correct? Gulp.
So Trilo was lying.
Yeah. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Ah! Ah! Order, order. How do you respond to this? But wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry?
Prosecution argues it was the defendant that the witness saw that night.
Wait a second. Russell Berry. Berry Rustler.
What's that mean?
Russell's berries.
I don't understand.
Russell.
What?
I don't know. It's kind of weird. It just came to my head.
The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols.
Please don't make them say it again.
Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Ow!
Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
Silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else, dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What? How did you not realize this flaw earlier, Miss Von Karma?
Yeah. Miss Von Karma? Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well, seriously, you think that she'd be taking Phoenix seriously by now?
Yeah. If that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we're finally won a point in this one.
That is very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. Yes, exactly what you were trying to establish. I applaud you for your effort, but...
But?
Who was that person can only be answered by the next witness.
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond the shadow of a doubt, an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for that crime.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness.
I think it might be time for...
Court is now in recess.
Yeah, I think it's time for the clown. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cute.
You're cute.
You're cute.
You're cute.
You're cute. Yep, it's time for the clown. You ready?
Yeah. Alright.
Hard.
We're gonna pick this up in the next one. And there ain't no more clowning around.
What do you mean there isn't?
Actually, there is a lot of clowning around that's gonna happen. And we'll see you in that one. Bye-bye.